welcome to School Matters. I'm Shawn Gilliland. Later in this show, we'll soar to new heights with our middle school students, find out why 2 teachers are a cut above at Quioccasin Middle, and go behind the scenes to find out what happens at Greenwood Elementary before the first bell rings. All that and much, much more on this week's show. Now we're off to the Center for the Arts for the Fall Showcase from the students' perspective.
Without really trying.
You're welcome!
Well, this weekend was our annual Fall Showcase, which incorporated visual arts, dance, musical theater, and theater.
It was good, felt good energy from the crowd, from each other. So yeah, I had a good time.
Well, we opened with Rhythm Nation.
5, 3.
And so all of the dancers did the moves from the music video. We had Dr. Poxon, the director of CFA, and she danced with all the dancers in the front, and she actually got all the moves pretty well. We just watched the video, and she looked pretty good.
It was great because it was a chance, all the levels in dance, and I guess some in musical theater, got to get together and, just have a big time, fun time with each other. And Dr. Poxon also was included in that opening, and got to dance with her and see all her moves, So it was good.
Theater Level 4, we went first, and our piece was titled The Least Offensive Play in the Whole Darn World.
More often than not, students and teachers are forced to settle and perform less than classic plays, all because of the offensive content or language of their original choice. Until now, we here at Sino Corps have an exciting new invention. The Script Cleaner 5000.
What it was about is that we had a Script Cleaner 5000. It basically wiped all the bad things in the script.
America is about truth and freedom and making sure no one is ever offended by anything.
It was just really, really invigorating to feel the audience's energy, and it felt good to know that they thought the piece was funny, because backstage, a little secret, backstage, we could not keep it together. Like every scene, we were laughing, joking around with each other because we had a lot of fun with this piece.
Well, I'm convinced I hope all of America is too.
Me too, Kendall. Me too.
Well, for Musical Theater Level 4, we actually got to be involved in 2 pieces. Our first piece, we did Glory in combination with a couple of the dancers from Level 4. And that was stemmed from another project we had done, and some of the directors and teachers were really excited about it, so they wanted us to do it at Fall Showcase as well.
Glory, glory, glory.
Everybody loved it. I saw people crying. I saw, everybody had their different feeling about it. And I knew that having the dancers come in as well, it really told the story of how we really wanted to portray the piece.
And then our second piece was Trash in the Camp from Tarzan.
It was a piece about teamwork.
There was really no words. It was us just scatting the whole time and moving chairs. So that was fun. We had brooms, and we used the brooms to create more beats.
It was different, you know, like just to scat and not really say anything and have people just be like, wow, like, you know, they don't really need anything, you know, like any words or anything. They just do it and it looks and sounds great. So, yeah.
What she do, what she do, she do, she do, she, yeah.
Our piece was called Bear All Sink In. Our dance was very subtle. You know, we had to support each other. It was a lot of like lifts and like weight shifts and stuff like that.
It really focused on like being grounded and supporting one another, and we worked a lot with like partnerships and stuff.
Before we come on stage, we make sure we breathe together, we gather with each other, you know, to fill each other out, and, you know, make sure just be on the same timing with one another, because that's important. So we look clean, we look nice.
We all wore fall colors, so we all had like mustard yellows and burnt oranges and grays, and it was kind of mixed matched. So like we all didn't look the same, and we all looked like fall, and it was really pretty. Yeah, it went really well with what we were doing. It was just a very like kind of slow-paced, dramatic piece. So.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever
So we did You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. I sung the first two verses because my voice is deeper, and we were trying to give this message that CFA is a place where all these people can come together and we can create this art, but we're also a family and we're actual human beings who care about each other.
'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand.
I had a solo, and it was just basically telling them, like, you're not alone. This is a place where you can come, you can talk to each other, we're all a family.
There's a place where we don't have to feel alone. We can speak out. Every time that you call out, that's love.
Theater level 4, our role was to kind of be the narrators.
Listen up, we've got something to say.
Here at the Center for the Arts,
We support positivity, creativity, love. We support each other.
We spent a whole day in class pulling quotes to where we felt it meant a lot to us.
you're precious. Don't waste it on someone who doesn't realize that. The world has plenty of critics already.
Pulling someone down will never help you reach the top. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
At first, I was kind of overwhelmed because I was like, wow, there's so much going on. They said we're including the theater and the musical theater, and I was like, there's just so much going on. But it was as it came together, it was powerful. It was very moving.
Being able to have a show and lights and a production to perform is really great because we can really like showcase what we do and have an audience, and it's really cool. It's really great.
Just to see everyone, even other levels come down the aisles, it just felt like we felt like a big family, and it was just nice. It was a good feeling.
You will be found.
So no matter who you're around or what you're doing, you're accepted here and you're not alone.
To catch the showcase in its entirety, featuring acts from all 4 levels of theater, musical theater and dance, check out hcpstv.org or tune in to HCPS TV. Don't go away because after the break, we're counting down to liftoff with Henrico Middle School students.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. Go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to getschool.com for more info.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Outside the house other than taking care of children. Currently, like the first representative for the General Assembly. I actually learned a lot, you know.
Welcome back to School Matters. The first successful rocket launch by NASA took place close to 70 years ago in Florida in July of 1950. Next up, we're off to check out a rocket launch that took place a little closer to home. 8th grade gifted students from 6 Henrico middle schools came together recently to put their science lessons to the test.
3, 2, 1.
We had a rocket launch day at the Hunton Recreation Center out in Glen, Allen. The kids started out by doing a unit on rocketry and space in their gifted resource classes. So we had 6 of our middle schools come out to Hunton Rec Center with rockets that the students had built to come together to launch them and participate in a bunch of other activities.
The heavier the nose cone, those ones ended up on the ground over here. It takes much more force for them to launch. The one with the lightest nose cone went the farthest.
I think it was really cool because you got to build a rocket, but you also got to talk to different schools. You got to be in groups of kids that you don't normally talk to. We're all coming from different schools and everyone's different, but you can all learn from them. And it was cool to see what they did with their rockets differently from ours, how theirs worked better or worse than ours. It was great.
They did a space history challenge where they had a bunch of different events that occurred and they had a timeline and they had to get the dates in the right order on the timeline, and they were competing against one another to do that. And then we had our friends from Astro Camp out in Clover came and also brought some activities out that had to do with how engines work and teaching the kids about combustion and engines and rocket launch.
It was almost like a sense of pride because you start off building your rocket, and then in the end it all comes together and it works, and it's really cool.
I think it was a really great project because for one, it was really fun to be able to watch what we built actually work. Just that the hard work we kind of put into building the rocket, I just think it was really fun being able to watch our rocket actually do what it was supposed to do.
That took hands-on learning to new heights. Over at Fairfield Middle School, students were encouraged and inspired during a motivational assembly with the goal of empowering young people to achieve their full potential.
My name is Humble Tip, and this is the Beautiful Tomorrow Assembly. At this assembly, the only thing we want to do, we want to make sure we encourage you guys. We want to make sure we empower you guys. We want to make sure we inspire you guys to be whatever it is. Where you at? To be wherever it is you want to be. If there is anyone here who is feeling bullied, you don't have to feel scared of whoever the bully is. You don't have to feel like you're going to get in trouble. Take that situation to the teachers and the counselors and the different administration that's here. Because there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that you did to deserve to be bullied. There's nothing wrong with the way you look. There's nothing wrong with the way you talk. There's nothing wrong with who you are. The problem is with the bully. But one thing that everybody at Fairfield needs to know is that bullying will not be tolerated. Point blank. So real quick, I need everybody, and you ain't too cool to say this. I need everybody in the building to say, bullying will not be tolerated. Real quick, look at the person beside you. Say, I will have a beautiful tomorrow. If you've got any dreams, if you've got any goals, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a professional athlete, whatever it is you want to do with your life, after you've prepared as much as you possibly can, you got to have the courage to do that. So here's what's going to happen. When I point to you guys, y'all going to say, do that. All right? So if you want to accomplish your dreams, what's the first thing you got to do? If you want to achieve your beautiful tomorrow, what's the first thing you got to do? If everybody is telling you that you can't do something, but you know that you can do it, what do you got to do? And last but not least, if you want to go to college and be successful and have an incredible life, what's the first thing you got to do? Let's have some fun with it. And I know it's going to take hard work, dedication. It's going to take a little patience. Everybody wild way. Man, hear me like things. Let's do it up and make it. I got too many depending on me. Trying to be feeling lonely. It's me and my squad only. I used to have a lot of homies. They acting like they don't know what's up and shine on me. I don't want to do this alone. I'm going to do it just for mommy and live home. Happy y'all won't even get Fairfield. Let me hear it. Say, yeah, I got dreams. And I got goals. I'm going to make it. Even if they don't, can't put me out. Yeah, yeah. Can't put me out. Yeah, yeah. Say, I got dreams, and I got goals. I'm gonna make it. Even if they don't, can't put me out. Yeah, yeah. Can't put me out. Yeah, yeah.
Liberty University graduate Jason Lewis, aka Humble Tip, is passionate about the Beautiful Tomorrow assemblies. His message is, regardless of what adversity may have happened in your life yesterday, today you can make the decision that tomorrow will be beautiful. The beautiful and unseasonably warm weather in our area changed drastically to start off 2018. The winter break turned into a few extra days off for students and staff after snow blanketed our area. Our team of superheroes from C&M fought through the frigid temperatures to make sure the path was safe when school reopened. another 90-second history report.
Think you know about Christopher Columbus?
Yes.
Well, it's time to separate the fact from the myth. His real name? Cristoforo Colombo. That's Italian. Columbus is the English translation. He was not the first European to reach North America. The Vikings traveled to Greenland about 500 years before Columbus, and most people of his day did not believe the world was flat. Actually, Aristotle said the world was round back around 350 BC.
No way.
A lot of those stories came from a book by Washington Irving, the same guy who created Rip Van Winkle and the Headless Horseman. Christopher Columbus really did believe that traveling west would be a shortcut to India, although he didn't know about North and South America in between. After Italy declined on funding his plan, he approached Spanish royals, Ferdinand and Isabella. 3 ships later, the journey began. Over the next 10 years, he traveled to the Bahamas, Cuba, the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and parts of South America. He never quite made it to the U.S., but his logs and reports paved the way for future European journeys. In honor of his efforts, Columbus Day is now celebrated in America, Italy, and Spain. So here it is in a nutshell. The world flat, a storybook myth. The shortcut west, that was his. Italy said no. Spain said let's go. He had 3 ships, he kept great notes, never discovered America, but he did find some great vacation spots.
That's Christopher Columbus in 90 seconds. Glen Allen Jaguars and Skylar T. Van Valkenburg's government class got the opportunity to Skype with a similar class in Brazil.
Do you guys have like an EPA? Like, what are your country's stances on like environmental policies?
Yeah, we have some organizations, like we have one for the Indians.
Students got to compare and contrast different points of view as this is part of an ongoing lesson, with more Skype sessions scheduled. Welcome back to School Matters. The Greenwood Drumline joined forces with the Glen Allen High School Marching Jaguars to welcome the young Gators to school. Parents and teachers provided the high fives to help get the day started off on a positive note.
Teachers, just a friendly reminder, the drum line will need to be sent to the music room, and then they will be playing on the car loop. So we look forward to having the drum line welcoming all of our Gators. Thank you.
Got it? Thank you, dear.
Miss Valerie! Hey, Annie, how you? What?
Happy birthday, today's a special day. Happy birthday, come on, let's celebrate. Woo!
That all took place in just 61 minutes before the first bell rang to start off the school day. Over at Quioccasin Middle School, students set out to raise money this past holiday season for the Henrico Christmas Mother. A unique price was paid by 2 teachers if they reached their goal. Let's take a look. Great job, Griffins. Way to embrace the giving season by going above and beyond expectations for such a worthy cause. We're going to close the show with the Hour of Code event. Students from the ACE Center at Hermitage High School and the Center for Information Technology at Deep Run sponsored the event for county middle schoolers to broaden participation in computer science and to demystify coding. For School Matters, I'm Sean Gilliland. Thanks for watching.